Why clarity is so important for your entrepreneurial success or your side hustle. So I want you to think of it this way. Your brain is kind of like that search bar in Google. And when you put something in there, it's going to go and look for that thing and help find the answer for you. Unfortunately, a lot of us aren't putting clear instructions in there, or we're putting things in and then changing it real fast, or we're putting in really vague searches and we're getting not good results. So it's really important that we get clear and specific. So another thing that I see happens often when working with clients is we'll have kind of a general idea or a big vision of something, but we don't have specifics down. And again, going back to our brain and how it works, if it's not specific enough, it just doesn't have enough data to go do the work that it needs to do. And our brain is really amazing, but it takes a lot of energy to run our brain and the rest of our body. So it's going to automate as much as it can. And if we haven't given it clear instructions why, it's not going to work. And so this is a lot of times why people have trouble with clarity in their entrepreneurial journeys or their side hustle. Now, there are some other challenges that come with clarity too. So some people, we don't know how to dream. There was a point in time where I was at like dream? You mean like I can create a vision of something I want? And sometimes people in faith communities, like I am and was, we don't feel like we're allowed to dream. We're just kind of waiting for some instructions from upon high. And yet, if we're made in the image of the creator, we're given the ability to create and be creative and come up with ideas. And if we're seeking God, then he gives us ideas and things come to us, and it can be leading and guiding, but we're so afraid of doing things wrong. So fear can keep us from clarity, along with not really having the permission to go and to dream. So I'm going to encourage you to go and dream. I'm going to give you a few more steps in a minute. So not knowing how to dream, another may feel like they're not worthy of dreaming that. They're not good enough to deserve something that they would want. And that's centered around some belief issues, but that is going to stop you from getting that clarity. And some people are following other people's goals. And so they're not real clear because it's somebody else's dream and they do the things they think they're supposed to be doing to go for the thing, but it's not really the thing. And we see that a lot with things online because people will put these ideas out and it sounds really good and we go for it, but it's not really our dream. It's somebody else's dream and somebody else's vision. So what are the steps to getting clarity? I'm just going to briefly go over some things. It takes time to actually get into it. And I'm actually going to be doing a series the rest of this year, towards the end of this year, on getting clarity. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But let's look at some of the steps for getting clarity. So you may have heard this one. It's the write down what you want life to look like in 5, 10, 15, 25 years. Now pick your thing. What do you want life to look like? And get real specific, like what are the smells and the things you see, who you want to be with, what's it taste like, the sounds that you're hearing, all of these things. So maybe you've heard of that exercise. That is one that you can do, and it's useful. Now, a lot of people find that challenging, and I know I have at times found that challenging, but that is one of the ways. And we'll get into what we do with that after you get it. Another one, this one's kind of unique and different, is you can write your own eulogy. So when you're not here anymore and somebody is up speaking their eulogy about you, what do you want them to say? What do you want them to say about you? Now, I will encourage you, if you do this one, put a note on there that this is an exercise so somebody doesn't think something is off with you or whatever. But write out your eulogy. Now, what I have found with that is that's helpful in helping us to decide who we want to be or how we want to be in the world. It may not be as good for clarity for specific goals, but it might help. And it could be a good place to start. And actually, as I'm speaking now, I'm thinking of another one. If you're in that place where you don't know how to dream or you don't feel like you're allowed to dream, start with what you don't want. Like write down what you don't want. So I'm going to guess that you probably don't want to be homeless. All right, well, instead of being homeless, what do you want? Right? And so that could be another approach. There are a couple other methods that I've received from coaches that I've worked with in the past, John Acuff and Ray Edwards. And I'll be going into those in the Clarity series that I'm going to be doing. I have a wait list for that right now. I still am putting all of the details together for that. Or if you're watching it after we've had it, there'll be a link and how you can access it after the fact. And the next thing we do after we get the clarity is we need to find out, why is it important? And we need to do this because for a couple of reasons. One, life happens and day to day can get challenging. And if we don't have a real strong reason why we're pursuing something, it's real easy just to let it go by the wayside and other things to come in and take over our time and agenda so that we don't have any time or energy to work on that dream or towards that dream. And the tricky thing about the why is that often the first couple of answers we give are kind of superficial and they aren't that real deep motivating reason why we want to do something. And so it needs to go deeper. Now, you may be able to do this yourself. You may need help from a coach or a friend or somebody else to help you do that. But you want to go 5 to 7 whys deep. So each time you answer the question, you're asking yourself, and why is that important? And why is that important? And why is that important? And as you go deeper and deeper, you're going to get down to that core reason that's kind of hiding because we're protecting it, right? We don't want it to get hurt as to why this vision or goal or dream is important. Now, once we know what our goal and our vision is and our dream is, now we've got to break it down. And we've got to break it down really small. Because another thing that our brain doesn't do well with, in addition to not having clear and specific search directions, is our brain has a hard time with a project. There's a lot of pieces to a project. Now, if we give our brain a piece to work on, something that we can get done in 30, 60, 2 hours, something like that, it can help us go and do that thing. But if we're giving it a whole project, that can seem overwhelmed. This could be where some of that overwhelm comes in when you're on your entrepreneurial or side hustle journey, it's trying to wrap its head around a project and it's just too much. So breaking it down into those smaller steps is going to be important. And then as we start pursuing those small steps, we might still have challenges. Oftentimes, we have conflicting beliefs. We say we want this thing, but we have something that was automated in us early in life or at some past season of life. And that thing that was automated was there to protect us from something that it perceives as dangerous. Well, if our dream is opposite of something that appears dangerous to us, then our brain's not going to help us get there. So we have to uncover those things and we have to rewire them so that our body knows, our brain knows that it's safe to pursue this thing, that we're not going to get hurt, that we're not in danger anymore. So this is just a very general overview for you of why clarity is important for you on your entrepreneurial journey, side hustle, or just in life in general, right? Because it's all about how our body is working, how our brain works. And if this is something that you would like to get help with, getting more clarity, there will be a link in the description below so you can get connected to the series, whether you're on the wait list for it coming up in the future, or you're watching this after the fact and it's already something that you can get replays to. And so my name is Valerie Pugsley. I'm a success coach and abundance coach. And I would love to help you have more confidence, focus, and momentum as you go out into the world to do that thing, that vision, that dream that is yours, that's going to help other people and make this world a better place. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.